Welcome back to practice. Today's class is a gentle prenatal hip mobility routine, perfect for your first or second trimester, of course, depending on how your belly is growing and how you're feeling. You can do this flow any time of the day to release tension, open up the hips, and create a little bit more space and ease in your body. Let's take a few intentional deep breaths. Tune into how you're feeling today and give your body the love and support it deserves. And let's begin in a supine position, lying down on your back. Our first exercise is going to be a dynamic spinal twist. We're going to bring your right knee up to your chest, get a good stretch in the glute, and right away we're going to drive it to your right, opening up in external rotation, bringing it to your left into a spinal twist, and opening up to your right again. We have a couple more reps like this. Extend your right arm 45 degrees up to deepen that twist. And remember to breathe. And we're going to pause here for a few seconds. Now, to deepen the stretch in the glute and wake up muscle tissues, let's gently use your fist to apply some percussive release to the glutes. I'm going to do some tapping right on top of that right hip, all the way up to your upper glute, and all the way around down. Think of it like waking up the muscles, stimulating the circulation, and slowly we'll bring our leg back to center. Let's do some extensions in the knee, flexing the foot as you come up, and pointing the feet when you come down. Let's wake up our hamstrings. You can add this couple pulses at the top. Remember to breathe. We have a couple more reps here. Beautiful. And we're going to switch the side. So now we bring your left knee to the chest. We're going to start with a dynamic twist. So bringing it to your left, into external rotation and twisting it to your right. Bringing your left arm out 45 degrees. Let's take inhale when we open up and exhale when we bring it in. Keeping the core slightly active, pelvis slightly tucked. And we're going to pause here in internal rotation. Moving into percussive release with your fist. We're going to gently tap your glute all around, coming up on top of your hip into your IT band and back down to the glute. And bringing your knee back to center, we're going into 8 extensions to stretch the hamstring and the entire posterior chain of your leg, under your knee, your cuffs. So making sure that we flex the foot on the way up and point the toes all the way down. Add in a couple of pulses at the top And remember to exhale at the top to deepen the stretch. We have one more rep. And we're moving into our next exercise, which is a dynamic happy baby. This time we're going to grab our feet from the inwards, making sure that hips are on the floor, rolling shoulders back into the floor. We're going to open up the hips for as far as we allowed and bring them back to center. Keep it dynamic. We're going for 6 more. Take an inhale on the way in and exhale on the way out. Remember, you don't have to come into a full extension. The range can be very little as long as we're keeping it dynamic. We have a couple more reps. And we're gonna stay open and rock side to side. Massaging the back against the mat. Slowly come back to center. Give yourself a good stretch. And for the next exercise, we're gonna get into a kneeling position. If you need to pad your knee with a towel, feel free to do so. We're going to bring your right leg to the side, exactly 45 degrees. So not at the front, not at the side, somewhere in between. And we're going to slowly start shifting the weight forward. Remembering to breathe. As we come forward, we go into a deep exhale. Let's bring our hands behind our head and we're going to start hinging the hips. Coming forward into a lunge, extend the front leg, hinge the hips back. Perfect, just like that. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the lunge. Giving a good stretch to our hamstring again. Engaging our adductors. Let's change the angle and bring our leg all the way to the side, making sure to tuck your pelvis. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to come into a deep lunge, extend the leg straight and hinge the hips. It's a dynamic hip mobility drill. Beautiful. We have a couple more reps here. Going nice and low. And we're going to switch the side. Bringing your left leg 45 degrees. Going to slowly shift the weight forward. Remembering to breathe. Core is slightly active, pelvis is slightly tucked, and now we're going to add those extensions, adding those hip hinges, shifting the weight forward and backwards. Perfect. Forward and backwards. Have a couple more reps. And we're changing the angle to 180, so bringing your leg all the way to the side. I'm gonna start from this deep lunge and extension right away, hinging those hips back, allowing our hamstrings to get into a nice deep stretch. Remembering to breathe in and out. Perfect. Good job. And let's switch the side again. We're going to stay in a kneeling position. This time we're going to add some spinal twists. Tapping your right elbow against the floor, we're going to come into a chest opener towards your right leg. Adding the spinal rotations to deepen the stretch in our inner thigh. Open up our chest muscles. Bring some mobility to the spine. Making sure that the knees staying open. We're going for a total of 8 reps per side. And now let's bring our left knee forward. We're going to be tapping left elbow against the floor, rotating towards your left. Going for 8 rotations. Adding the breath to it. Inhale as you open the chest. Exhale as you come down. Perfect. We have a couple more. Beautiful. And from the tabletop position, we're going to extend one leg to the side. It's going to be a half frog position, so making sure that hips are slightly open. We're going to start shifting our hips back. Let's open up our inner thighs, our adductors, muscles that are usually chronically spasmed. Here I'm coming towards the side so you can see better. Again, the range doesn't have to be very deep. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Here we're exploring the available range. And whenever you're ready, we're going to switch the side. From the tabletop, extending the left leg. Sliding it further. Want to make sure that your hips are open as much as it's allowed, and we're going for 10 total shifts back. Here we exhaling on our way down as we releasing the tension from the muscles. Just like that. We have 3 more. If you feel like you want to stay in this stretch for a little longer, please feel free to do so. You can pause this video at any moment. And we're going to move on to the next stretch. Is going to be a static hip flexor release. I like to get to it from a seated position, bending one knee, extending another leg to the side. We're going to slowly lower down on our elbows. Here you might naturally want to arch your back, which will prevent you from feeling the stretch, so making sure that you're tucking your pelvis forward to get this nice stretchy sensation in your hip flexor. Here we want to take a couple of deep, intentional breaths right into the tight area. And whenever you're ready, we're going to switch the sides. Bend your left knee. Slowly lower down on your elbows. And let's work on that pelvic tilt, making sure there's no arching in the back. You're feeling how all of the front of your thigh muscles just below your hip bones are getting nice release. Let's take one more deep breath here. And now let's see if we can get them both in this position. We're just gonna place our pelvis right in between our feet. See if we can come down into the elbows and get into this nice pelvic tilt. Again, you might feel like arching your back. You are in control of how much tilting you do. If you feel like you can go completely flat on your back, feel free to do so. And we're going to take one more deep breath in. And let's come back to center. That's it for today's practice. Thank you for showing up for yourself. I hope you're feeling more open, grounded, and at ease. Take care, and I'll see you next time.